many years, I was a total people pleaser, saying yes to everyone and ignoring my own needs. It almost destroyed my confidence and happiness. But now, I'm not afraid to tell people exactly what I think. So let me save you years of frustration by sharing the lessons I learned that completely changed my journey and how they can help you thrive instead of spending years of pleasing others. Look, people pleasing is like a disease. It's everywhere. Like, we grew up in a society built on it. First, it starts with our parents, of course, right? Teaching us to be good kids and to not rock the boat. Then our teachers, who expect us to follow rules and to fit in, right? And later, it's bosses and workplaces reward us for saying yes and being team players. And this structure gets deeply ingrained in us that we barely notice it, right? So when I worked, for example, my 9 to 5 job, I always spoke my truth and I told my bosses exactly what I thought. One time, I remember even telling them, I don't care if you want to fire me, just fire me. And I wasn't even scared, and I was just done, sacrificed myself for them. And I realized that being honest and authentic was more important than just saying yes to keep everyone happy, right? And people pleasing often comes from a fear of rejection or conflict, but for me, it was just finally choosing myself. And here's the truth: when you speak your mind with confidence, people actually respect you more. And you don't lose respect or you don't lose relationships, you actually gain it. And I learned that it's not selfish to stand up for yourself. And in fact, that's the opposite of people pleasing, right? But it takes courage. So these are the lessons I learned. Lesson number 1: people respect you more when you speak your truth. When I was working my 9 to 5 job again, I stopped holding back. I told my bosses exactly what I thought, even if it meant confrontation. So I wasn't scared of being fired, but I just couldn't pretend anymore. So one time my boss told me that it took me too long in the morning to get my coffee. When I ordered, I lost it. And I really I told him, do you think I'm in jail? Am I not allowed to go and get my coffee? And I wasn't being disrespectful, but I was done being treated like some kind of robot. So I thought this would create tension and maybe even cost me my job. But what surprised me that people actually respected me more for it. So, the more you say what you really want, the more people accept you more with confidence. Lesson number 2: it's not selfish to communicate your needs. I used to feel guilty asking for what I needed, but saying what you need builds healthier relationships. And I even struggled with it in intimate relationships, and I had a hard time asking for what I desired, but now I just ask without guilt. And it made my relationship so much more honest and fulfilling. Lesson number 3: authenticity makes boundaries easier. Let me explain. Being true to yourself, it means that it's easier to say no. And setting boundaries isn't scary, it's just going to free you. And people always ask me, how do you stop caring about what other people think so effortlessly? And you know what my answer is? The more I stayed loyal to myself and put my needs first and spoke my truth, the easier it became for me to stop caring what others think. And when you do it naturally, it gets way easier to express yourself too. But you can only do it after working on yourself deeply. And I made it a practice to fully accept who I am. And I turned authenticity into a core value in my life. And that's what really helped me stop betraying myself and to keep others comfortable, right? Lesson number 4: you're not responsible for fixing others' emotions, especially if you're an empath or grew up in a demanding home. You might feel responsible for everyone else's feeling. But I grew up learning to not to rock the boat and to play small and to play safe, right? But I learned to say no without guilt and realize that I don't have to explain myself to everyone, even my parents, especially my parents. And that really gave me space to finally be my unapologetic self. So I hope my story and lessons help you, and tell me in the comments what your struggle with people pleasing. And if you are tired of people pleasing and feeling invisible, just remember this. You don't have to sacrifice your happiness for others, and it's your job to stand up for yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. And if you're really ready to shift your energy and come back to your true self, so check out my energy shift playlist. So thank you for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.